By the time the 1960s arrived, 12-year-old me got the nickname Professor because of my interest in science. Then I experienced out-of-this-world innovative sci-fi movie effects in my neighborhood theater. This marvelous fascination led me to create my 5 sci-fi movie gems of the 1960s. Number 5. The Time Machine. This sci-fi novella by H.G. Wells was first published in 1895. George Paul directed the movie, which starred Rod Taylor, Alan Young, Yvette Mimieux, Tom Helmore, Whit Bissell, and Sebastian Cabot. The thought of traveling to a more peaceful period in time intrigues scientist H.G. Wells, and he shares this with his dubious friends.
This is a time machine.
Wells uses his newly made time machine to jump decades into the future, but he disappointedly finds civilization embroiled in a brand new kind of war. Out of desperation, he jumps in time by hundreds of thousands of years.
I had to stop and find out.
Wells finds what he believes is peace and tranquility.
So this is man's future.
Those called the Eloi have sacrificed severely to maintain their ideal-like existence with the Morlocks.
The human race reduced to living vegetables.
Number 4. Mysterious Island. During the 1960s, Jules Verne wrote the famous book about this sci-fi adventure. The movie was directed by Cy Enfield and starred Michael Craig, Michael Callan, Beth Rogan, Herb Blum, Gary Morrell, Joan Greenwood, Dan Jackson, and Percy Herbert. After escaping from a Confederate prison, Union soldiers and a few others abscond with a hot air balloon. After days of drifting across the sea, their group of 5 reaches a remote island where 2 shipwrecked women eventually join them.
My name is Lady Mary Fairchild, and this is my niece, Elena.
As the battle to survive the mysterious island begins, they discover creatures of increased size, including crabs, birds, and bees. The long-thought-dead Captain Nemo approaches the survivors, and his incredible underwater machine, the Nautilus, is always close by. Number 3. First Men in the Moon. In another story by H.G. Wells, this adventure was directed by Nathan Joran and starred Edward Judd, Martha Heyer, and Lionel Jeffries. During the 1960s, a United Earth spacecraft lands on the moon. They find evidence that someone else arrived there 100 years prior.
And here's something else. We'd better get it on the scanner back to Earth before it falls to pieces.
One man tells how he and 2 others traveled to the moon in 1899 in a sphere coated with carvarite, a substance that nullifies the force of gravity.
What?
That means carvarite defies gravity.
Oh.
After arriving on the moon, the trio discovers underground dwellings, a technologically advanced society, and hope they can find a way to escape insect aliens and return to Earth.
Leave me alone!
Number 2, Crack in the World. Directed by Andrew Marston and starring Dana Andrews, Janet Scott, and Kieran Moore. The scientist who runs Project Inner Space discovers an endless energy supply for the world, deep in the magma of the Earth. The first problem is that an atomic missile is needed to penetrate the last layer. Even the scientist's wife and her former lover cannot stop him.
The Commission has already given us the go-ahead.
The magma is released once the missile is dropped. The second issue is that previous atomic bomb testing, along with this last explosion, caused a spreading crack in the Earth. If not stopped, the split land masses will suck in the oceans, and the pressure caused by the steam will rip the planet apart. So, the natural solution is to drop a hydrogen bomb in a hole ahead of the crack to relieve the pressure. As simple as this plan seems, things do not go as planned. Number 1, Fantastic Voyage. Directed by Richard Fleischer and starring Stephen Boyd, Raquel Welch, Donald Pleasance, Arthur Kennedy, William Redfield, Edmund O'Brien, and Arthur O'Connell. When the life of the inventor who makes things teeny-weeny hangs in the balance, the CMDF, or the Combined Miniature Deterrent Force, comes to the rescue. After miniaturization and injection, the team of professionals and one spy must steer their atomic-powered submarine toward the scientist's brain so they can cut away a fatal clot. They must complete their mission and leave the scientist's body in 1 hour, because once that time elapses, they will begin to grow to standard size. And that could be a mess. In addition to someone on board who wants the mission to fail, the crew must watch out for the body's natural defenses, such as the dreaded antibodies. I'd like to say thanks to those that made movie recommendations. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see in the comment section below. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel and check out my many other endless perceptions.